All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 11-game slate here, joined as always with Chris. A little bit late today, probably doing his hair, if I had to guess. But how are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well. Just getting the text out that we're live. For some reason, the thumbnail isn't showing in Discord. There it is. But yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for the slate.
Nice. 11-game slate. Is it a good one? Is it a busy one? Is there a lot of news here to navigate around?
We're getting a lot of news right now.
Get your bets ready, Chris. Prop bets?
No, I'm a little busy now, so I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay. Should we get into the success while you do your thing? While you catch up? Yeah.
I'll send you the links, yeah.
You did or you will?
No, I will.
Okay. I got Brendan here. What's up? He says Chrissair DFS. Yeah.
No, I showered like 3 hours ago, so it wasn't anything like that.
All right. But yeah, success here. I think this is where we should start. I think we went over this one. This was Aiden yesterday, so I think we went over that one. But I'm not sure if we went over this one, Nick, over here. This was NASCAR 29 to 40. Awesome stuff. Austin, Chris, the good Austin. He's asking if you got some sun.
No, it hasn't been sunny here the last few days, but yeah, hopefully soon maybe.
I mean, you've been playing some outdoor basketball whenever it's sunny here, but it's pretty cloudy. But you're gonna go today, I think, right?
Maybe.
Get some sun. But yeah, Ronald Jones in here as well. What's up? Yeah, Nick here, 29-40. Good stuff there. Next, again, Nick here. NHL action out of him. Crushing it, as you can see. Dakota, also NHL, 74-150. Ultra boosted. Didn't fall asleep for this one. Did his late swap, I'm guessing, 71 to 140. NBA main slate on DK. Nick on DK, 107 to 240. And then a showdown GPP, $60 to 134. Awesome stuff. And we got Snow up next, 20 to 50. NBA single slate, NHL main slate, 15 to 40. FanDuel main slate, 40 to 140. So this one's actually pretty high over here. That's a good one. T-Bay over here, $9 to 16. He's been on fire, hasn't he?
Yeah, this was a good lineup. It was the one we actually talked about on the show with Giannis that kind of popped up later. It wasn't the optimal. I think it was the third team at lock, maybe second. I don't exactly remember, but it was one of the ones that I liked a lot during the show with Giannis.
Yeah. Let me just open your links here. Give me one sec. Requires a lot of focus to open the links. Yeah, he's been on fire. He's been making the right decisions. Wow, it's got to be like a week streak out of Thomas over here.
Yeah, it's something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, shout out to Thomas for that one. And we have you over here, $23.50, $2,300 into almost $4,500. That's pretty good. That's FanDuel main slate. And then DK main slate, $1,400 into $3K. So doubled up there as well. Solid stuff out of you. Brent over here, $12 into 68. Is this the Thomas Bay lineup? Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, it is.
So they both went with this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that, I mean, this
one.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe Brent played that in a tournament or something. Maybe he played the other one in some more contests. I'm not sure. But who was putting those weird emojis? I saw this one on this post. Someone they're pretty I don't know. We have a kissing emoji. We have some weird emojis on this particular post. I'm not sure why.
This one here?
We have a few, three to the left of that. There's a laughing emoji. 2 laughing emojis. So this post was kind of weird with the emojis.
I saw this too. I saw Matt reacting to them. I'm not sure if this is in order. Is it? Is this Matt?
No, I don't think it's in order. I think it's... Well, maybe it is. I usually react first. If we can look at some other ones, maybe we can see if it's in order.
I think this was Matt. I mean, I think if it is in order, I think I clicked...
I clicked first on that one, Prickies.
This one?
Down. No, down. That one.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, oh, usually it's 2 posts, but yeah. Yeah, so I clicked first on these and it's showing you first, so it's not in order.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. I was wondering what's going on here, but I mean, solid results. That's what's going on. As you can
Maybe
see,
maybe they think that Brent here is a good-looking guy. I mean, he is from his picture, so whoever did that first thinks Brent is a good-looking guy.
this is a lot of emojis too, so it's got to be something like that. I thought he took something down. Like, I don't know, but I mean,
I mean,
this
that's
is
pretty
still awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, big shout out to Brent. Solid stuff there. Hope you're enjoying the tool. Love to see people winning money, so that's awesome. Turn and Burn up next. What did he do? He's always crushing. 100 to 314 NBA. Showtime. Wait, is this the main slate, Chris? Hard to say.
I mean, yeah. No, usually it says something else when it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. 100 to 314, 8th place there in the tournament, single entry. 100 to 200 here, 60 to 134 here. 90 to 100 in another tournament, 5 entry. Solid stuff out of Turn and Burn. Another screenshot. These are, I guess, his double ups, cash contests, minus these two, I guess. But yeah, solid stuff out of Turn and Burn. Love to see that. Got Ghost here. What did he do? $20 to 130, 20 to 54, and then 20 to 40. And then is this the way they do the head-to-heads, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some head-to-heads. So he's been crushing it. I think he's having his like 5th daughter today or something, expected to be delivered. So he's definitely doing that part-time DFS, full-time results thing right now because he's a busy man right now. But yeah, shout out to Ghost. Hope everything goes well for him today. Up next, Cash Money here. 3 to 8, 14 to 28. What else did he do here? Some double up action NBA. Main slate here. Solid stuff. Pricky. What did he do? 124. I guess this one a bit broke even kind of. This one won 55 to 100, 95. Oh, this is a big one. Did you see this one, Chris?
Yeah, that was a big one. I saw that one. That was good.
Yeah, 95 to almost 600. So that's awesome. This is the T-Bay line. Is it? No, it's a different one. Do you know what the
No, that's a different one.
similar score was? It 376?
Similar score, but this one doesn't have Giannis.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then another one, 55, 110. Some single slate stuff here in baseball main slate. Baseball 55, 100, 10 to 45. Awesome stuff. And then Aiden, he loves to post at the end here at the start of the show. So he did NHL single game slate, NHL all day slate, NHL single game slate, NBA Express slate, NBA after hours slate, and then NBA main slate, crushing all of these. He says, fade CP3 in cash. What do you think of that, Chris?
Yeah, he faded him early in the early slate. He played Morant instead. Morant crushed CP3, so yeah, Aiden's sharp with the pivots as always.
Wait, did you say he's sharp?
I said Aiden is sharp with the pivots as always.
Oh yeah, sharp with the pivots. Yeah.
What do you think I said?
I don't know. There's like a big truck here. I wasn't sure, but yeah, I was wondering, is he a little bit biased with that Rondo and CP3 stuff, Chris?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he hates CP3. He loves Rondo, so just how it is.
But yeah, DK, he did main slate, pucks, single game slate, pucks, baseball, main slate, more NHL, single game slate, and then the early slate for NBA. So that's awesome stuff. Every slate, every sport, every day, every site for Aiden. Love to see it. Let's see what we got in the chat before we go over your contest, Chris. Hasty's in here. Ronald Jones.
Hasty's in here?
Yeah, he says sunny today. We will get some sun on Chris if we can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if it's still sunny, we can go play basketball later if Hasty wants to come. Probably around like 5:30. I don't know yet. Message me.
Do that. I'm down to hoop today. I'm ready. Recovered from my blister, so I'm good to go now. We got Lamano in here as well. What's up? Brent says, played it in the $2 100-man on FanDuel and took it down for a $50 profit. That's awesome. What else? Turn and burn goaded from Hasty. Rondo says Morant over CP3 all day. Apparently Aiden's going pro from Hasty, says rookie of the year for sure. Is he a rookie, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, he's grinding his way up. Kind of reminds
Rookie,
me of
though?
myself.
It's like a fake rookie. It's like Ben Simmons rookie. He was like a rookie
No,
for
I mean,
2-3
that's
years.
how you start. That's how I started. Like, I started with $20 in my account. Aiden plays like $500 a night combined now. Like, I was playing $10 a night and grinded all the way up. So, yeah, he's definitely still a rookie. I mean,
Yeah.
he's still grinding.
Are you not grinding?
Definitely not as much as I was before.
So, okay. Let's see what else. Yeah, Hasty's got the rookie of the year vote for Rondo. Rondo says he should come watch you play basketball today, Chris.
Me, personally, you should watch me only.
Yeah. But yeah, Royal King in here as well. What's up? It's your homework, Chris, so let me open up you, McLovin here. So yeah, what happened on FanDuel? You cashed on both sides, so what went our way here?
Yeah, let's just show the thing as we always do. Show my results.
Oh, you like that segment thingy?
I mean, we always do it. It's kind of weird to not do it one day.
Yeah, so 2350 into 4500 almost on FanDuel. So you crushed all the contests you entered. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, had a obviously really good night. Things went my way. Lineup kind of built itself, as I always say. There's actually a Top Shot drop right now if anyone's into that thing. It's a stress test for 50K packs. I think it's in 15 minutes, so if you want to join that, do that. I'm in it. But yeah, this lineup, I mean, I was kind of saying I like the Kings a lot yesterday. They fit very well. They were pretty chalky. Actually, they're actually my least chalky play, or my least chalky play from this lineup comes from one of the Kings in Buddy Hield, 27% owned in this contest. So yeah, I liked all the Kings, mostly Halliburton, Hield, and Barnes. I think I had Harkless as well earlier before we got the Chetty news, but once Chetty was announced starting, easy lock for his price tag. Today, same thing, easy lock with the guys they're missing. So I love Chetty today, loved him yesterday, got him in both lineups, so that was good. Curry here, he was 100% owned, so it didn't matter. Brogdon, also loved him. I was saying on the show yesterday, I thought Curry and Brogdon was the pairing at point guard. Brogdon's just been crushing ever since Sabonis has gone out. So he did it once again yesterday in that matchup. Beal, he kind of got hurt at the end of the game, so he could have gotten a few more points, but he still paid off his value. I always say it. He's good for 30 plus a night, and everything else he gives you is extra. So same thing happened last night. Just one of the best scorers in the game. It just seems so easy for him whenever I watch. Just like an effortless 30 points every night, which is crazy. And then yeah, Chetty, talked about him. These Kings guys talked about them. Jakar Sampson, he was the last piece here, 4.2K. We got Jeremy Lamb and someone else ruled out. Goga ruled out as well. So Sampson here is the last piece for 4.2 on FanDuel. I was fine with it. And then Jarrett Allen, he was the priority for me yesterday at 6.1K against Washington. Today, same thing. He's priced down more on FanDuel now, so he's an easy lock today again.
Nice. You want to go over anyone else here, Chris? Or
well, you pulled up this lineup, so this is the lineup that Thomas had. This was the Giannis lineup that I was talking about on the show yesterday. So this one had Bacon, Brissett, and Giannis instead of Beal, Buddy Hield, and Jakar Sampson. So Bacon actually, he benefited a lot from the injury of the Devin candidate, whatever his name is, the Princeton guy. He benefited a lot from that injury. So he played a lot of minutes, played well, 20 points, 20 real-life points. So Bacon had a game. Brissett, decent game. And then Giannis, obviously, with the monster game. So I like this build as well. But once I saw this Beal, Buddy, Jakar build, I liked it a little more than the Giannis build that we were talking about on the show.
Nice. Man over here says went Harkless and lost. Rondo says same. What do you think of that pivot there?
On what site?
I'm guessing FanDuel.
Well, it's not really a pivot. I mean, instead of Chetty, yeah. I was saying yesterday at the end of the show, like, because we got the Chetty news right at the end of the show, I was saying, I mean, projections are going to update for sure. Chetty is going to become probably a lock for his price tag. So, yeah, pretty easy swap there. I mean, most people did that.
Okay. Rondo says it was DK for him. For Mano, it was on FanDuel. But let's open up your DK here, Chris. So let me open up this for you. So 1,400 to 3K. Crushed it here as well. Seeing some sharp players here, Chris. Dakota. Chrissair. What happened here?
Yeah, this lineup built itself as well. The only decision was the Sumner thing. So that's where I think Rondo played Harkless instead of Sumner. Played Sumner here. He did well. Pretty much him and Brogdon were the only guys that mattered in this lineup. They were the low-owned guys. Everyone else was very easy to get to here on DraftKings. I think some people went with, I don't remember exactly who, but there was a 2v2 with Brogdon and Sumner. I went with Brogdon and Sumner. I was talking Brogdon up a lot, so I wanted him. And then Sumner, just a solid last piece, so I wanted to go there. He had a really good game the night before, so I kind of wanted to tail that, do it again. Hope he did it again. So that's what I did. And yeah, that was DK.
Okay. And then do you want to open up anyone else here, Chris?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, just look at all these sharp players, Chris. Dakota, Chrissair, Scotty, Clovin. Lots of sharp guys here. It's crazy. Crazy how many sharp players there are. Yeah, we can get into the slate. Chetty, Jetty. Yeah, I love it, Chris. We got Chetty as the cover boy today, so it should be a good slate today again. But yeah, 11 games here, Chris. 22 teams to pick from. Give us your favorite game environments here so far.
I mean, we have a giant slate. Bunch of injury news we're waiting on, so it's kind of annoying. But yeah, Chetty once again, he's probably my favorite play. They're missing Sexton. They're missing a few other guys today. Kind of weird. All their guys are going out with concussion. They had Jarrett Allen before. They had Sexton yesterday and today, obviously. And then they added two more guys with concussion, Lamar Stevens and Isaiah Hartenstein. So they have a ton of concussions, which is, I mean, very rare and very strange.
Which these
so maybe something's happening in the locker room, but I have no idea. But yeah, I like the Cavs a lot. I like Chetty a lot. He's probably my favorite value play on this slate, and then I like Jarrett Allen once again.
Are there concussions happening in the game, Chris?
I'm not sure.
Oh, like you don't see them?
I don't watch Cavs games, so I mean, you're not going to get an answer from me.
Fair. Okay, let's get into it, Chris. First up, Atlanta, Detroit. Atlanta here, Cam Reddish out for them, Hunter out, Snell out, Chris Dunn probable. So is that the first time we're seeing him this year?
Yeah, if he does play.
It's pretty...
Well, yeah, probable, like you said. So yeah, it's likely he plays.
Pretty exciting. Used to enjoy watching him, but he seems to be priced down quite a bit. Wonder how many minutes he'll get, because I think before, like, wasn't he like a 7K fantasy player at some point in his career?
No, he was always in that like 4 to 5K range. But I mean, if he was fully healthy in this situation, he was starting, he would be a smash play. But we have no idea.
Got it. Projected starters: Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter, Solomon Hill, John Collins, and Capella. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Hawks today?
Yeah, so I mean, we saw these guys have some big games yesterday. Bogey and Kevin Huerter. Not even Kevin Huerter, actually. He had like a really good start to the game. Brandon was messaging me. He was saying Kevin Huerter should be 7K. Kevin Huerter finished with like 28. So yeah, he didn't do too well for his price tag, but I mean, he's still a decent play, I think. But Bogey is the clear number one guy here now. High usage rate, high minutes, just running the team. We got news that Lou Will is out now, so bumps up these guys a little bit, especially the ball handlers. So I do like Bogey a lot. Huerter, he's in a better spot than yesterday, but he is priced up now. So maybe on FanDuel, Huerter for 5.9 with no Lou Will. Definitely don't mind that in tournaments, cash games. I just don't think I need it. We have Halbert for a similar price, so I'd much rather play Tyrese once again. So yeah, it's probably Bogey for me for the most part. Probably more so in tournaments. Don't want to play Capella. Don't want to play Collins. So Chris Dunn, if he starts, he could be sneaky. Maybe in tournaments on DraftKings for 3-2. I don't mind that, even if he's off the bench, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, do you think we'll get his minutes today, released before the game? Obviously, first game of the slate, so it would be before lock if we get it. Do you think we'll get any news on that or no?
I have no idea. I mean, coming off an ankle injury, he's missed a year, so I mean, he's probably going to play like 10 minutes max.
Yeah, I guess.
But, I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Pistons side, we have Dennis Smith Jr. out, Gruder out, Josh Jackson questionable, projected starters, Kojo, Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, and Mason Plumlee. Anybody here, Chris, from Detroit today or not?
Not really. Like, just pretty ugly game here. Detroit. So usually we like to play them when they're resting their veterans. Today is not a day where they're resting guys like Grant, Kojo, Plumlee. I think they're all going to play, so yeah, I'm not too interested in the Pistons here tonight. Maybe Kojo as a last piece. He's 5K on FanDuel. You're probably going to get him sub 5% owned. But yeah, I probably can't do anything here.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Hasty says he's stoked Sumner's getting a run. Solid college guy, Chris.
Yeah,
Mano.
I remember playing him like a few years ago when he was a rookie. He had some really big games, and then I think last year he was had like a down year. But yeah, it's good to see him kind of coming back into form.
Yeah. Mano's asking Chris about Jeremy Grant. He says no Jeremy Grant.
Not today. I just don't think it's necessary.
Tournaments maybe, or not even?
I mean, anyone's viable in tournaments, but I'm not going to sit here and say I like him. I don't.
Okay. Got Solo in here, says he's ready for the slate, Chris. Let's get into this next game. Thunder 76ers against each other. OKC side, got Muscala out, Gabriel Deck out, Josh Hall out, Dort out, SGA is out. Tony Bradley questionable, and then this guy named Charlie Brown. Do you know this guy, Chris? 10-day contract for them.
Yeah, so we were getting some talk about him in the Discord yesterday, just because of his name. But no, I don't know who he is or how he plays. I mean, he doesn't matter.
Even on the OKC G League team, seemed like they'd play anyone now.
Yeah, that's why we don't have interest in him, because they play anyone. But his name is cool, Charlie Brown. Peanuts, obviously. I think I have a hoodie somewhere. I should have put it on, but yeah.
We're not playing him, though. That's the sad thing. But yeah, projected starters, Maladin, Svi Mihailuk, Alexei Pokushevsky, Baisley, and Moses. Anybody here, Chris, on the Thunder, or no?
So I think maybe like Svi Mihailuk, he's 3.6 on DK. I think that's the only guy that I'm really interested in here, just because he's very cheap. Probably expect him to start because Dort is out, like you said. So I think they've been starting Svi when Dort has missed games. Svi has played well in his starts, definitely well enough to pay off this 3.6 price tag. So I do like him a lot on DraftKings. Probably my favorite Thunder guy here on this slate just because of the pricing. Baisley, Maladone, Pokushevsky, Roby, they're all viable as last pieces, but you just don't know who it's going to be on any night. The Sixers are pretty tough defensively, so I don't love it. But yeah, Svi is the guy for me. He's probably a lock for me on DraftKings and cash games.
Okay. Let's see. You got some chat here. O-World's in here because he says, I'm right in front of the site as well, watching the show. It's awesome. He says, should I exclude Embiid right now?
No. Why?
Not sure.
Questionable? No, I mean, we usually handle questionable guys as in. If they're out, we deal with it at that point. If you have some kind of inclination that he's going to rest, then yeah, hit the exclude button.
Yeah. Let's see. Got some more stuff here. KJ says, don't want to take that Porzingis risk, Chris.
I mean, yeah, same sort of thing. Like, Mavs guys, they're all questionable. Great matchup, though, so if they play, they should smash. But yeah, if you don't want to take the risk, exclude button is right there.
Yeah, O-World says he also excluded Zingis. He says 30 other people, too. Hasty's asking, Pokushevsky or Svi, Chris?
I mean, in terms of what? I think they're priced pretty differently.
I guess just as like a basketball player.
I like Pokushevsky. He's a unicorn. Svi, I like him as well. He's pretty athletic. but I don't think Svi has very high IQ. I think Pokuševski has some IQ with him because I've seen him do some pretty crazy like passes across the court, like finds the open seams, makes the right pass. So I like Pokuševski, and he's very long and fun to watch.
Is he younger too? Do you know the ages there as well?
Svi has been in the year for like 5 years. I mean, in the league for like 5 years now. Pokuševski's a rookie. Pokuševski is 19, born in 2001. Let's see this other guy. Svi is 23. So Svi is 4 years older.
Yeah, still pretty young. Mano says Poku is nice. He's just a baby.
Yeah.
Hasty says Svi was killing it at Kansas as a 17-year-old, well seasoned for his age.
He's sneaky athletic.
Yeah. Trigger's favorite, actually. Loves those types of builds. King Carter says, Kenrich Williams, Chris, or Cam Johnson on DK?
Give me Cam Johnson.
And then also a question on Butler, Chris. What are your thoughts on Jimmy buckets today?
Probably more of a FanDuel guy, but I mean I don't mind him for 9.3. Decent price tag there if you have the money to spend up for him, but I'm not going to prioritize him or anything like that.
Okay. Rondo here is saying Pokuševski reminds him of Rondo, basketball IQ. King Carter's asking if Cousins is viable on DK.
Yeah, so I like that they signed him to the full, or for the rest of the season. I mean, I think he's probably a decent tournament option. More likely than not, he's not going to get you there. But he's 4K. I mean, he's going to play 15 minutes maximum, so I don't love it. But I don't know, just stick around. We'll give you some better plays than DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah. Ronald Jones says Gafford should be a good play tonight again, Chris. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I definitely don't mind Gafford, especially on DK where he's 3.9K. FanDuel is a little more expensive, but yeah, I love watching that guy play. He's all hustle.
Hasty says, good call on Pokuševski. Has a big ceiling, Chris.
Well, I don't want to say that. Well, does he mean ceiling in terms of his career,
not today.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I don't really like him today, but yeah, I like him for his career.
Yeah.
If I could lock him in for like 5 years in my 5-year lineup, I would have him.
Yeah. Manu is asking about Bogdanovic on FanDuel on the Hawks. I think we went over that already. You said you really, really like him today.
I don't really like him, but he's my favorite Hawk. He's expensive. That's the problem. So fine with him as like a tournament option. Cash games, you probably don't need it. We have Chetty at small forward, who's a lock. We have guys like Michael Porter Jr., who's obviously in a great matchup, great game environment for him. So I like Michael Porter Jr. a little more.
Okay, and then what if he was talking about the Bogdanovic on Utah? No chance?
No, I don't think he was, but I mean, he's pretty expensive. Let's see, Bogey on Utah, 6.4 on DK, FanDuel 5.4. I don't mind it. Like I don't know, he's too scoring dependent for me. That's the only problem. Like his ceiling is kind of capped because if he gets 30 points, he's probably going to get you 35 fantasy points.
Yeah.
So don't love that.
Yeah, and he did mean Atlanta, so my bad there. More questions, Chris. Let's do rapid fire. Baines, do you like Baines with no Boucher for Toronto, Chris?
No, not really. I don't think they want to play him. They have the Gillespie guy. They have Kem Birch. So I don't think they want to play Aaron Baines. I mean, if he's starting, then he's in a great spot. 3K on DK. Love that price tag. But he would have to be starting if I'm going to play him.
Got it. Ronald Jones says Lopez should sit. Carter says Lowry seems underpriced on DK. Do you know about that, Chris?
Lowry's team is underpriced on DK?
No. Lowry seems underpriced on DK.
Oh, 7.3. I mean, that's what we've been getting him at for the past few weeks. Let's see. FanDuel 6.9. So I mean, he's a decent option. I probably don't need him here today. He's definitely viable though.
Yeah, he's not like running the team like he used to. Like I don't know, it's a different situation there in Toronto right now.
I mean, his shot needs to fall. Like he got 7 rebounds, 9 assists last game, but he went 1 for 10 and got 4 points. So if his shot is falling, if he's getting stocks, then he could hit a ceiling. But yeah, we have a giant slate here, so it's not like he's in a lock spot or anything like that.
Yep. Did you get your pack, Chris, by the way? Got a question on that.
Let me see. No, I got 90K.
Oh, really? I got it 28,000.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
the thing is with these packs now, I mean, the last time I opened mine, that was like a common pack. I lost money on it. So they're not like these common ones aren't as good as they used to be.
Are there any gems in them if you get lucky?
I think there are, yeah.
Okay.
But I think I just got very unlucky. Like I got high serial numbers, some bums. Maybe I just got very unlucky.
I got like a THT one, but from a LeBron pass, so it could have easily been a LeBron card as well. You know what I mean? It was like a full court heave from LeBron to THT for a dunk. That guy has long ass arms, by the way. THT, is it true? Like 7 foot wingspan. He's like 6'5" or something.
I don't know what it is, but he does have long arms. That's how you find the gems in the draft, I think. Those guys that are long.
It just looks weird. Like when he jumps for a dunk, like it doesn't look like he's getting that high up, but then his arms just like they just like extend and he dunks it so easily. He doesn't have to jump. His arms are just so freaking long.
I don't think I've ever seen him make a left-handed layup either.
He always goes for the right hand dunk.
I don't know. Like other side as well, he kind of goes. I don't know.
I know what you mean, actually.
I think I've noticed.
Hasty says, he's asking if I saw Boucher's Hellman's ad, Slim Duck getting those endorsements. No, but I'm going to search that up for later.
Is that mayonnaise?
Huh?
Is that mayonnaise?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got the ad. We can open it up later, Chris, if you want.
Open it up now. Let's do it now.
Let's see. Let's see.
Is it new?
Yeah, 4 days ago. Love how Hasty knows this one. Carter says, thoughts on fading Phoenix, New York, Chris, on DK?
Yeah, so Torrey Craig is just, I don't know. I think he's in a great spot today on DraftKings. They're missing a bunch of guys on the wing like Crowder, Saric. So I like Torrey Craig's minutes a lot. It's hard to fade him in cash games. Cam Johnson, similar situation. So I don't know. You could probably fade one of them, but I like both of them.
Yeah, what is going on here? This is 98 views, like one like. Like we get better numbers than Hellman's Canada. What's going on, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, people don't watch a mayonnaise YouTube channel.
It must be a bad ad. Where's Slim Duck? Wait, what? That's it?
Did you see the video? Did you see the video of them making Malachi Flynn and Gillespie sing "Party in the USA"?
No, but I also like this. Can you send that one?
I don't know if I can find it anymore. It's like a 3-minute video, so I don't want to watch it here. But
this is my favorite one though. Chris Boucher spotted at downtown LeBlanc breaks self-isolation protocol. He's probably like the worst guy. Like he always stands out no matter where he is. Like, oh my god. Like even if he puts his hood on, you can tell it's the Slim Duck. There's no way around it. This one's hilarious. Wait, so they made them sing it? You gotta find it for me later.
It's. Do you watch the open gym stuff? I mean, if
I used to,
they have like the best content for a team. So if I liked the team, I would watch that pretty much every day. Like
it is actually really good stuff. The open gym content, the show, that's a good one. Hasty says there's a longer version for the mayonnaise ad. He says Boucher talks about being hungry as a kid.
Yeah,
Boucher's a beast. He's a dog. But let's go over Philadelphia, Chris. Big slate here. Lots of questionable tags. Got fan favorite at the Crunch squad. Korkmaz, Furkan, Korkmaz, questionable. Benjamin Simmons, questionable. Paul Reed, questionable. Tobias Harris, questionable. Danny Green and Joel Embiid, both questionable. Projected starters, Simmons, Curry, Green, Harris, and Embiid. I guess this Doc Rivers stuff, Chris, in Philadelphia is getting a little... I mean, it's kind of annoying for DFS. All these guys are always questionable, and then sometimes you get the news. Sometimes you get, like, fake news, like a juke out of Doc Rivers. Like, you never know what's going on there. It seems kind of annoying. How do you handle this today?
Yeah, I mean, when we get them starting right at lock. That's when we're just super lucky. So we don't have to handle it until we get the news. No idea what's going to happen. If they play, I like them a little bit, like maybe Ben Simmons, Toby, if Embiid misses, but it all depends on the news here. This is the largest spread on the slate. It's 13.5 favoring the Sixers. They're implied to score 117, so it's a healthy total for them, but we have to wait for the news before we make a decision.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I think you're absolutely right about saying we're lucky when it's the first game of the slate. So it does make it a lot better. Let's go into the next one. We got the Magic and the Lakers facing each other. Lake Show first. We got Dudley marked as out, KCP probable, Gasol probable, AD probable, Dennis Schroeder questionable, projected starter Schroeder, Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, Anthony Davis, and Drummond. Lakers, they are the best, Chris, at these probable tags. I think they throw those out the most out of any team in the NBA. Who do you like here today on the Lake Show?
No one here, just a stay away spot against the Magic. Lowest or second lowest over under on the slate, large spread at 10.5. So I'm not going to play anyone here.
Okay. Let's see what else. King Carter, Chris, PG-13 in every lineup. What do you think of that?
PG-13 in every lineup. Yeah, I love Paul George today. Maybe not on FanDuel. He is 10K over there. But DraftKings 9.6, a little easier to fit him in with the positions, with some lower price tag guys. I love Paul George with no Kawhi.
Okay, and then he also says DeJounte Murray is going to outscore Derozan tonight, Chris.
DeJounte Murray is going to outscore Derozan. I mean, I'm with it. I like DeJounte a lot. Looking like a great play on FanDuel for 6.8K. DraftKings as well, 7-1. So I wouldn't be mad at all if that happened.
Okay. Got a comment here, Chris. I'm not sure what language it's in, the name, but he says at the last European Basketball Championship, there was a sensation because the small Slovenian team won the championship. The favorite teams were Spain, Serbia, France, and Greece. Throwing out some international basketball facts for us. Do you know anything about that, Chris?
Wait, did you translate that message?
I don't know if it was translated here or what.
Translated by YouTube?
Maybe he's talking about some sort of player in the NBA right now who is there.
Oh, you mean his name was?
Yeah.
His name is Greek or something? I thought you meant his message was in a different language.
No. But I'm just wondering about the message. Who's the player he's talking
about?
Last
European Championship, there was a sensation because the small Slovenian team won the championship. So yeah, they won as like underdogs. When was that? Was that recently? Did Luka play for them? Yeah, that's interesting.
They have a good team though. They have like Dragic, Luka.
Yeah, but we don't know who played for them that year.
Yeah, they also
it says Slovenians can ball, no doubt. Yeah, I mean they can all ball from out in the Balkans.
Yeah, they're beasts. Got some good hoopers here as well from the Balkans. Hasty was telling me locally, but there's also Kankar. Is that how you say his name, Chris? From Denver, Flatco.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know how good that guy is. Probably good in international play, but not so much in the NBA.
Yeah, they've got some ballers for sure. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. But Deshaun here, Chris, he's asking Paul George or Embiid. Seems like you can't really answer that because we don't know if Embiid's playing or not, right? The questionable tag. Gotta wait for that.
Paul George for sure, even if Embiid plays.
But I mean, what if you have a lot of guys out and just Embiid on the Sixers?
We already have Kawhi out. We have Kennard resting. Great matchup against the Pelicans. Embiid is playing the Thunder, so it's Paul George for sure.
Got it. Thoughts on Conley, Chris?
Yeah, I like Mike Conley a lot. They're playing the Timberwolves again. Only problem is the spread, but they're implied to score 119 points. No Mitchell, so he's been putting up some big numbers. 40 fantasy points last game against the Timberwolves. Played 30 minutes. So if they can keep it somewhat close, or at least close enough for Conley to play 30-plus minutes, I like him a lot today.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see this question now. The European basketball, Chris. What countries do you think are the best right now, most competitive in Europe?
Serbia, Spain, Like I don't know, like these NBA with the NBA players or without them.
I guess that would be the teams with the NBA players, right?
It depends if the NBA players are playing or not. Because if they're not playing, then I would assume that like a Spanish team probably has a bunch of guys in the like scattered across the European leagues.
Yeah,
That
they've
would
got
be
some
better.
players. Yeah. Carter says, do you think Ingles is going to be under-owned tonight, Chris?
No, I think he's going to be owned where he should be. I don't think he should get much ownership here today, but I do think he's going to be low owned.
Yep. And then last one, Hasty just says, Spain is usually the one to beat out in Europe, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they are, but they don't have the Gasols anymore. I don't know how good they are. I mean, all their players are pretty much in the international scene, which I don't really watch. So, I mean, my knowledge comes from the NBA. So I'm gonna say like, if there was like a Yugoslavia team, that would be the best team. But obviously there isn't.
Yeah. Let's go over the Magic, Chris. So MCW out, Otto Porter out, T. Ross questionable, Ennis questionable. Projected starters: Cole Anthony, Harris, Bacon, Chuma Okeke, and Wendell Carter Jr. I think someone mentioned Chuma Okeke yesterday, saying it was going to be a Chuma night, Chris. I think he ended up doing, I guess maybe he started off well, but hit value. So I guess that's not too bad. But who do you like on the Magic here today, if anyone, facing the Lakers?
So I mean, we have to wait for the Ross and Ennis news. They're both questionable. If they play, I'm not interested in the Magic. If they're out, you can probably play someone like Bacon on FanDuel for 3.9. Maybe Okeke again, maybe Cole Anthony, but it's a tough matchup here. Just an ugly game overall on this giant slate, which we don't really need to target.
Okay. Let's see. Hasty says Spain is getting older for sure in the international scene. Let's see. King Carter says Jeremy Grant is going to have 50 plus fantasy points tonight, Chris. One of his core plays for him.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets the minutes, like if he gets like 38 minutes like we saw at the beginning of the year, sure, but we've seen him at like 26, 29, 30. So that's why I don't love him.
Okay. Moving on. Next game, we have the Spurs against the Wizards. San Antonio side first. Trey Lyles out. Lonnie Walker questionable. Rudy Gay questionable. Projected starters: DeJounte Murray, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob. So we had some talks here already. People saying Murray will outscore DeMar DeRozan. What do you make of the Spurs squad today facing the Wizards? Usually like to target teams up against the Wizards, Chris.
Yeah, so I mean, I love the Spurs today. I love pretty much any team that plays the Wizards, maybe other than like Orlando if they were playing them. But yeah, I love the Spurs here. It's the guards that interest me. Not really interested in the front court. But DeJounte Murray, I'll start with him. He's 7-1 on DK, 6-8 on FanDuel. FanDuel price is better. Probably a lock for me there. DraftKings, it's more of a question. Just because we have some other cheaper guards like Svi. We have Torrey Craig at small forward, who's very good value. We have Chetty as well. So we can kind of use those value guys on DraftKings and then spend up for some studs. So not really as useful on DraftKings for me, but on FanDuel, love DeJounte Murray here for 6-8. DraftKings, you can use them in tournaments. Cash games, like I said, it's fine as the last piece, but FanDuel is where I want him. Derek White as well, 5.8K on FanDuel. Great price tag there. On DraftKings, he's 6.9K, so that's too expensive for me, but I think on FanDuel, you can definitely go there. We have DeMar DeRozan as well. He's 8-1 on FanDuel. 8-7 on DK. He's another guy here in a great spot. If I land on him, I'm good with it. If I do land on him, it's probably gonna be on FanDuel where he's cheaper, and I won't mind it. So I can play any of these three guys: Murray, White, DeRozan, and I'll be fine with it. In tournaments, you can play them as well. Ton of upside here in this matchup. We saw DeMar go for 50 last game, so yeah, definitely no problems playing these top three guys. If you want to play Pirtle, he's probably like his game log looks good. His price is probably where it should be. It's hard to play him on FanDuel because we have Jarrett Allen, who's just an absolute lock. But maybe on DK, where he's 6.1K, don't mind that price tag.
Okay. Connor's asking for the best center plays tonight, Chris. Not sure what site, though.
FanDuel, it's going to be Jarrett Allen for sure. DraftKings, Jokic, I like spending up for Jokic a lot. I was just talking about how we have a lot of value guys that makes it easy to spend up. So we have Jokic for 11K there. You have Gafford for 3.9 as well on DK, so I like that a lot. But if I had to pick one guy, I would say Jokic on DraftKings and Jarrett Allen on FanDuel.
Okay. Got some update from the Sixers, just saying everyone's questionable, and I think Tobias close. He's close, and there's a chance he could play tonight. So I guess not too much. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not too much. We got the Orlando news, so it looks like Ennis and Russ are out.
Yep, we got that too. Carter's asking, is with Hachimura back, does that hurt Gafford, Chris?
Not really, because it's not like they play Hachimura at the 5. Maybe it like takes away a few of his rebounds, but in terms of minutes, which is mostly what we care about, it doesn't hurt him too much. Also, Rolo. I mean, we'll talk about them here in a second on the other side of this game, but Rolo's also, I think he's questionable. Let me see. Yeah, he's questionable, so if he's out, that's going to help Gafford a lot.
Okay, and then 2 things here. Halliburton or Clarkson, FanDuel cash.
Halliburton, 100%.
And then Carter's asking, is Goodwin viable if he starts?
Yeah, if he starts. Well, the thing is, Chris Dunn is probable now, so that's a problem for me. But Lou Will is out at the same time, so that's a good thing. Let's see, Goodwin 4.3 now in DK. He was at like 5K for a few games. Goodwin is 4.9 on FanDuel, so better play on DraftKings if he does start. Probably don't mind it there, but we have a ton of value on this slate, so it's not like he's going to be a lock or anything, even if he does start.
Okay, and then one more question from Lomano says Zion or Siakam on FanDuel, Chris?
That one's tough. I'll say, I mean, different price range, but I think I'll go with Siakam. Both really good plays. If you land on either of those guys, I'm completely fine with it.
Yeah, and then on the Devin Kennedy injury, Chris, I was looking at it closely yesterday. He didn't break anything. Told you.
Oh, he definitely did. There was blood. There was blood on the ground from the open wound.
Really?
Yeah.
It says dislocation, severe sprain in his right. Is this fake? It says did not break any bones or tear any ligaments.
Yeah, it was an open fracture. We got it yesterday, and I saw a picture. There was blood on the ground.
Oh my god.
So that means the bone was out.
So what's up with this tweet here? Is that a fake one?
Is it from right now? Because yesterday, I think Mark Spears had a tweet.
This is from Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel sports writer, covers the Magic.
What does it say?
It says Magic guard Devin Kennedy underwent surgery to clean up a dislocation, severe sprain in his right ankle. He injured Sunday against the Pacers, but further testing showed that he did not break any bones or tear any ligaments.
Interesting. But I mean, he had surgery for the dislocation, so I mean, even if it dislocates, I think you can still have the bone out. Like, bone break and dislocation is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's kind of unfortunate. Very, yeah. Yeah, Washington, Chris. Let's do that quickly here. So we have Brad Beal in, Hachimura in, Westy questionable, Lopez questionable. Projected starters: Westy, Neto, Beal, Hachimura, and Len. Thoughts on the Wizards, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards here, I always like the Wizards just because they're always in a good spot in terms of the way they play. They play fast, but today they have an implied team total of 112, so that's lower than we usually see. Tight spread here, so I definitely don't mind playing someone like Westbrook here today. He's questionable, so we have to wait for that news. Beal, I'm probably going to avoid Beal today. Late in the game, he had an injury. He said it felt like someone kicked him, so that's never good for the Achilles, but he's not on the injury report, which is kind of confusing to me. I thought he would be out today, but not on the injury reports. But I still don't want to play Beal in this spot back-to-back. And like I said, he got hurt yesterday, so I don't love it. We have a bunch of other shooting guards on this slate, so we don't need it here today. He's priced up now on FanDuel, 9.4, so he's kind of where he should be, in my opinion. 9.7 on DK for Beal, so I don't need that either. Just got news that Westbrook is in, so that's good. Rolo is out, so that means Gafford's a great play here today. So yeah, those two guys are going to be the main guys for me. We have Westbrook here, 11K or 11.2 on FanDuel, 10.9 on DK. So better price tag for me on DraftKings. So I like him a lot over there. Like I said, we have a few value guys on this slate that make it pretty easy to spend up for someone like Westbrook here. So I like playing Westbrook. Gafford as well with Rolo out, looking like a great play. 3-9 on DK. I think that's probably going to enter near lock territory. Even if he doesn't start, obviously Len starts for them. But yeah, I like those two guys the most.
Okay. Hasty asking if Kennedy went down. Yes, he did. He says it's the Puma shoes. They are killing people, Chris. What do you think of that Puma conspiracy?
Is he a Puma guy? I mean, he's like a G League guy. Does he have a Puma thing? That would be surprising to me if he does.
Not sure, to be honest. Carter says, O-World said Embiid, Harris, game time decision. We got that. He's asking best guard on DK under 4-5, Chris.
Svi, love Svi for 3-6 if he does start.
Okay, and then Murray or Lowry, FanDuel.
Murray or Lowry, Murray for sure.
Okay, and then Carter's asking D Wade, viable on DK with no Nance or Hartenstein.
Yeah, probably viable. I just don't think I need it here. If I'm playing a cab, it's going to be Chetty as my kind of wing guy from that team. But yeah, if D Wade starts, probably viable. So yeah, I don't mind that.
Porter or Edwards, FanDuel.
Porter or Edwards? Give me Michael Porter.
Okay. Move on to the Suns versus the Knicks. Phoenix side got Abdel Nader out, Jay Crowder out, Super Dario Saric out, Galloway also out, and then Cameron Johnson marked as in. Projected starters: Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Johnson, and Ayton. Anything here, Chris, from the Suns? Pace down spot against the Knicks. I don't think you like targeting the Suns either, so it seems like a bad game. I think someone already mentioned fading this one.
Well, I mean, so I agree with you. It's a pace down spot. I've said it all year. I don't like targeting the Suns, but that's the spend up guys. So we actually have some value here. Jay Crowder's out. Saric is out. So some of these cheaper wing guys kind of interest me here. So I'm not interested in Ayton, Booker, Paul. Definitely not in cash games. Maybe Booker in tournaments, but I don't really like that. Cam Johnson is the guy for me. He's 4-3 on DK. No Crowder, like I said, so he's been starting. No Saric now, so that's more minutes for him. Also, Torrey Craig. He's 3-5 on DK. We saw yesterday they played him 32 minutes, put up 42 fantasy points. So this guy's, when he gets minutes, he's a really good rebounder. So I do like Torrey Craig here quite a bit with the Saric and Crowder news. So I think these two guys are really good value plays on DraftKings. They open a lot for you. They let you spend up for a lot of studs here on this slate. So yeah, I really like Torrey Craig. I like Cam Johnson a lot as well.
Okay. Rose or Maladon, Chris, on DK?
Honestly, haven't considered either of them. If I had to say one, I would probably say Maladon. But yeah, I would try to spend up for like DeJounte Murray if you're at point guard. I think you can make it work a little better than that.
Okay, and then two quick ones, Chris. Van Fleet, any interest in him? And then Goodwin or Svi on DK?
Svi for sure. And then Van Vliet, I like him on FanDuel for 7-3. I think he's a really good last piece guy there for his price tag. We saw him go for 55 against the Knicks, I think, on Saturday. So, yeah, I like him a lot on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 8-3, so not as much interest there, but FanDuel definitely like him a lot for 7-3.
Okay. Let's go over the Knicks. So we got Alec Burks out. Then a note here. Do you know this guy, Chris? Simisola Shitu signed 10-day contract for the Knicks.
I don't know that guy.
I'll pull him up for you. Projected starters: Payton, Barrett, Bullock, Randall, and Noel. Anybody on the Knicks side, Chris?
Not too much here. Maybe Randall. He's probably the only guy I'm interested in if I'm playing a Nick. It's two teams that I don't really like to target. I like the Phoenix side because we have some injuries there, so I like some value guys there. But on the Knicks, we have Burks out, but he's been out for a while now, so the price tags have kind of caught up to everyone else. I think Julius Randle is always interesting. He's 9-9 on DK, 10-2 on FanDuel, so he's probably the guy that I'm interested in if I'm going to play a Nick. Most likely I'm not going to. But yeah, Randall would be the guy for me. I like him in tournaments, cash games, maybe as the last piece on either site, but I don't love it.
Okay. Question, not concerned about Kenrich Williams taking away minutes from Svi, Chris?
Well, I want to see their starting lineup first, but I think in games that Dort has missed, we've seen Svi start. Last start, 2 games ago against Indiana, Svi started, played 36 minutes, 38 fantasy points. And then against Golden State, a few days before that, started 26 minutes, 22 fantasy points. So, I mean, when he starts, when he gets the start, he always produces definitely well enough to pay off this 3.6 price tag on DraftKings.
Okay. Let's look up this guy, Chris. We can figure out how to say his name if he's on Basketball Reference. Is he? Is he not? There he is. So he's a British-born, another Canadian, Chris. In the
So
NBA.
all these random guys, they turn out to be Canadians.
Nobody here has the pronunciation, so we're just gonna go with.
You have to go to copy his name and put it at the top because you're looking at his stats.
Shit too. Simi Sola Shitu. Yeah, got it right.
Yeah, there it is.
What a name. Oh my god. Okay, moving on, Chris. Cavs versus the Raptors. So yeah, Cleveland side, Hartenstein out, Lamar Stevens, he is out, Colin Sexton out, Matthew Dellavedova is out. The projected starters, Garland, Coro, Chetty Osman, cover boy today, Kevin Love, Jarrett Allen, crushed yesterday. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Cleveland side facing the Raptors?
Yeah, so Chetty is the guy for me. He's the lock for me on both sides. Saw him start yesterday, put up that pretty good game. I think he went for 30 fantasy points, so he definitely paid off his price tag on both sides. Today he's 3.8K on DK. Yesterday he was 3.1, so they priced him up. FanDuel didn't. He's still 3.5 over there. So he's a lock for me on both sides. Assuming he starts, I mean, I don't see a way that they don't start him here. Had a great game yesterday. They're missing more guys than yesterday now, so Chetty is the guy for me. And then on FanDuel, we have Jarrett Allen, who also got priced down for whatever reason, 5.7 now, just way too cheap. We've seen this guy at 7K plus all year long. Now we get him for 5.7. He had the 60 burger yesterday, so love Jarrett Allen on FanDuel. Easy lock for me, unless we get some crazy new center value later on in the day, but I don't think we will. So I love Jarrett Allen there. DraftKings, I don't really need him as much. He's 7K. I think that's priced where he should be. Still a fine play as a last piece, but I think you're probably going to go with Jokic and Gafford in DraftKings as your centers, so probably don't need Allen there. And then Garland, he's also pretty interesting with Sexton still out. He had a really good game yesterday. Probably priced where he should be. He's 7.6 on FanDuel, 7.5 on DraftKings. But he's been playing well, consistently getting over, 36 fantasy points in the last 7 or so games. So he has a good chance to go for 5x. I think he's gone 5x in, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of his last 8 games, Garland has gone for at least 5x. So I don't mind him, but I'm probably not going to play him today on the slate.
Cut you off so you can make your prop bets, Chris, if you want. Zingis and Richardson for the Mavs, doubtful.
Doubtful? Yeah, so usually on a situation like this where we have these guys who are all questionable already, I don't really place bets on them just because I think that the line already kind of takes it into account. I usually like to place bets on spots where there wasn't an injury before. I feel like I have the bigger edge there.
Got it.
So we got Luka probable as well.
Yeah. Josh Jackson for Detroit out. Does that matter, Chris?
It matters a little bit. It bumps up their guys, but not enough to kind of boost them into priority range or anything like that.
All right. Hasty says Canadian Hooper is coming for the league. Shidu played at Vandy, he thinks. Can we see that here? Where he played?
Yeah, if you scroll down, I think you can. College stats.
Where is he? Shidu.
Oh, go back. Yeah, Vandy.
10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. That's pretty solid. How many minutes? 27 minutes a game. Not bad. Yeah, that's awesome. More Canadians in the league. Gafford or Birch on DK from Carter, Chris?
I'll take Gafford.
Okay. Let's go over the Raptors. So we have Paul Watson out, Chris Boucher out, Gary Trent out, Rodney Hood back in, Jalen Harris, questionable. Projected starters, Kalo, Van Fleet, OG Anunoby, Siakam, and Kem Birch. Anybody here, Chris, on the Raptors that you find viable today?
So I kind of like what's his name, Fred VanVleet. We were talking about Fred VanVleet a little bit. He's 7-3 on FanDuel, so I like that price tag. I mentioned he's 8-3 on DK, so you don't need to go there on DraftKings, but I think on FanDuel he makes for a pretty solid guy at shooting guard. Not sure if I'll need it anymore once the projections update for this Dallas news. I'm actually glad we got it right now because that's monster news on this slate. It probably makes Luka one of the best spend-ups now with KP out against the Kings. So very glad we got that news. But yeah, Fred VanVleet, my favorite guy here on FanDuel for 7-3. We have Siakam as well. Siakam is 9K on FanDuel, so I don't mind that price tag. I think it's fair. It's probably where it should be. So I don't mind Siakam here for 9K. On DraftKings, he's 8-9, so decent price tag there as well. Kem Birch, he's starting 4-8 on DK, 5K on FanDuel. Don't mind that. I mean, all these guys are fine as last pieces. I just don't really think I can take advantage of too much outside of maybe VanVleet for 7-3, but we've seen them limit these guys, so it's kind of a tricky situation that I don't love. But if you land there, like I keep saying, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. We have Chicago against Miami. Let's go over Chicago first. So Zach LaVine out, Troy Brown Jr. out. Projected starters Kobe White, Garrett Temple, Pat Williams, Daniel Tice, and Vucevic. Who do you like here, Chris, on Chicago?
Before I do that, we got news that AD is not going to have a restriction today, so he's probably interesting in tournaments. But yeah, on Chicago, not too much here. Just this is the lowest over-under game on the slate at 206. They're playing the Heat, who are pretty tough defensively. We've had LaVine out for a while now, so all price tags are where they should be. So yeah, nothing here for Chicago.
Okay. And then with that Mavs news, Chris, Deshaun's asking Luka or Jokic for you.
Probably Luka, but probably both.
Okay. We also have Chris.
Also, I just want to say Deshaun, I think he's a FanDuel guy. If you're playing FanDuel, I think you got to play Jarrett Allen at center.
Okay. I was going to say Chris Dunn, he is playing today, but minutes restriction. So we have the restriction confirmed over there. Let's go over other half here. So Miami side, Iggy out for them. Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero questionable. Gabe Vincent probable, and then Dragic marked as in, same as Okpala. Projected starters: Nunn, Butler, Robinson, Ariza, and Adebayo. So two questionable tags here, Chris, in Hero and Nunn. Is that important today, or not so much? Too many, lots of options today. So is that something we can kind of put less weight on?
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter too much here. Just like you said, we have a giant slate. We have a bunch of good spots already with injury news. So if they're out, Butler would obviously become a little bit of a better play. Dragic would be a better play. But yeah, I don't really need the Heat here. Butler is probably the only guy. Tournaments, I think he's viable. Bam as well, I guess. But yeah, I don't love it. I don't think we need to go here on this slate.
Okay. Man was asking about Kojo, Chris. You kind of touched on Corey Joseph a bit before. You said he could be a little bit sneaky on FanDuel, right?
Yeah, I don't mind him, but we're getting a bunch of new value now, so I don't think you need it.
Yeah, not a.
But we got Josh Jackson out, so that bumps him up a little bit. So I don't mind it. Tournament only, but yeah, definitely not in cash games.
Okay. Carter's asking Torian Craig or Harkless last man on DK.
I'll take Torrey Craig.
Okay. Let's load up the next game here. Utah Jazz against Minnesota. Let's go over Utah first. So we got Donovan Mitchell out. Azubuk, he is out as well. Projected starters: Conley, Ingles, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Gobert. Anything here, Chris, from the Jazz?
We got news that Svi is not starting today. They're starting Kenrich Williams. So Kenrich Williams is probably a better play than Svi now. But yeah, on the Utah side, it's a good matchup here against the Timberwolves. No Donovan Mitchell once again. So I definitely don't mind playing these guys. If I had to pick one, it's probably going to be Mike Conley. Mike Conley is 7-1 on FanDuel on DraftKings. I think he's similar. He's 7-4, so good price tag for him. If you're in that range, probably one of my favorite guys there, just because no Mitchell means that he's going to have the ball in his hands more. We've seen it in the last few games ever since Mitchell has gone out. Conley has been playing better, higher usage rate. Minutes have been lower because they've been in a few blowouts, but I think in a close game, I'm not saying this game is going to be close, but if it does stay close, Conley should smash. They have a 119 implied team total. I think that's the highest on the slate. Yes, it is. Next highest is Philly at 117. So Utah has the highest implied team total here. So definitely don't mind them if you're landing there as last pieces. Just the thing is, in cash games, we have a bunch of other spots that I'd like to take advantage of more. But in tournaments, all these guys are viable. We have Clarkson, Gobert, Ingles, Bogey, Royce O'Neal even. I think if you land on any of these guys as last pieces in tournaments, you're probably good with it.
Yeah, we just got the LeBron bomb, Chris, from Vogel. Says he is out indefinitely.
Yeah, so that's nothing new.
Yeah. Is he going to be in for the playoffs, do you think?
No, I think we got word that he might return next week. I think we got that yesterday.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, so other half here, Minnesota. I don't see any news. Just got starters. So Rubio, Ant-Man, Kogi, Daniels, and Catman as their projected starters. Who do you like here, Chris, on Minnesota?
Yeah, so it's just Beasley who's out once again. But yeah, it's with the Timberwolves. It's the top three guys with Towns, Edwards, and D'Lo. I'm always fine with them in tournaments and cash games. I don't really like to play them unless there's some injuries there, or unless they're in like a great matchup against the Wizards, the Kings, something like that. But this is a pretty tough one against Utah, so I don't love that. Maybe Ant-Man, he's 6'9" on FanDuel. I like the price tag, but we got the question about Ant versus Porter before. I would rather find the extra $400 to go up to Michael Porter, or extra $500 actually. But Ant, really good tournament option. We've seen the upside that he has. He can take over a game. Good stocks guy as well. So Ant's probably my favorite Timberwolf, but I don't know. I just don't think I need it.
Okay. Let's load up the next game. Whoops, clicked the wrong filter here. David Chris has Bradley out, Chris, for OKC.
Yeah, so I saw that as well. Bumps up, Roby a little bit, but it doesn't make too much of a difference.
Okay.
Brown as well, but I don't want to play Moses Brown.
Gotcha. Next game up, we got the Clip Show against the Pelicans. LA side first got Kennard, Serge Ibaka, Kawhi, Pat Bev all out for them. Boogie Cousins signed that contract for the rest of the season. Is it just the rest of the season, Chris?
Yeah.
So he's got that. Signed the bag, secured the bag. Marcus Morris in, Jean Rondo questionable. Don't think that matters too much, Chris. I'm kidding, actually, I don't know. But I'm just saying that for Rondo in the chat. Projected starters, Reginald Jackson, Terrence Mann, Paul George, Morris, and Zubats. Anything here, Chris, from the Clip Show with Kawhi being out?
Yeah, so anytime Kawhi misses, it means that we're interested in Paul George. We got this great matchup against the Pelicans, probably like a top 5 matchup in terms of who we like to target this season. So yeah, I love Paul George here. He's one of my favorite real-life players, so any chance I get to play him in DFS, I'm happy with it. He's 9'6" on DK, 10K on FanDuel, so it's a little harder to get to him on FanDuel, but he's still a really good play, really solid option there. I do like playing him a lot on both sites. We've seen him just absolutely smash in the last week or so, maybe even 2 weeks. He's been putting up 50+ very consistently, so this guy's a beast. Usage rate is way up now from where it was earlier in the year. Obviously, Kawhi is out, so that makes a lot of sense. But he's shooting like 25+ times per game, rebounding well, assisting the ball. He gets stocks. So, I love this guy. I think the price tag for him is fair, probably a little too cheap still, especially in this matchup. So yeah, I love Paul George. He's the guy for me here. Not interested in these other guys too much. Maybe Zoo. Maybe Morris, but yeah, I don't know. It's just Paul George for me. He's the alpha dog here.
Okay. Pelicans side got Alexander Walker still out. Nectat, James Johnson questionable, and then Steven Adams also questionable. Leaves us with the projected starters of Lonzo Ball, Bledsoe, Ingram, Zion, and Adams. Anything on the other side of this game, Chris, that you might want to play?
Yeah, so I don't mind the Pelicans here either. It's a really tight spread, 1.5 favoring the Clippers, 229 over under. So both teams are implied to score a good amount. Clippers 115, Pelicans 114. So, I mean, I like both sides here. Obviously, the Paul George thing is the best news for me here. But if you're playing Zion, if you're playing Ingram, I'm fine with it as well. Zion is 9-7 on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he's 10-1. So the price tag is a little better for him on FanDuel. Ingram is 8-9 on DK, 8-1 on FanDuel. So also a better price tag on FanDuel. But small forward is kind of loaded, I think, in terms of who we have below Ingram. So I'm probably not going to play him, but I think Zion is definitely viable here today for 9.7K in this matchup. In cash games is the last piece just because his floor is so safe. Even in tournaments, like we've seen him go for 65 multiple times this season. So he has that ceiling. I think in a game that could stay close where he plays a lot of minutes, I think he could definitely hit the ceiling. So I like Zion quite a bit here. He's probably going to be my favorite Pelican.
Okay. Moving on, got Memphis, Denver playing each other. Memphis side, Jaren Jackson Jr., only guy mentioned in this game actually, just marked as probable. Projected starters, John Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas Valanciunas. Anything, Chris, on the Memphis side for you?
Maybe John Morant. He's been playing very well recently, kind of playing how he should or how we expected him to. He had the great start to the year, and then he got hurt, so kind of slowed everything down for him. But I think now he's kind of coming back into form. So I do like John Morant quite a bit here. Probably tournament only for me. But yeah, that's probably it. Like Jaren Jackson is back now, so I'm not too interested in the bigs. Just going to be John Morant in tournaments.
Okay. Nuggets side, nothing noted there either. Projected starters, Campazzo, Dozier, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Jokic. So we've had some talk already, Chris. Pay-ups on this slate. You said on FanDuel you got to you got to play Jarrett Allen. Too good of a play to pass up on. So I guess that rules Jokic out for a lot of cash contests. But I guess on DK, is Jokic a viable spend up there?
Yeah, Jokic is a great spend up, I think. In a great spot. He's been putting up big numbers ever since Jamal Murray has gone out. I mean, even before that, before Jamal Murray was out, he was still putting up big numbers. But yeah, now he has pretty much the entire offense run through him. So I like him a lot. On FanDuel, it's probably more of a tournament option. Like you said, we have Jarrett Allen there who's too good to pass up on for me. So yeah, it's more of a DK play. He's 11K over on DK, so I think that's pretty easy to get to. On FanDuel, the guy I'm interested in is going to be Michael Porter Jr. He's 7.4K. We saw him have a monster game last time out against the Rockets. Went for, 57 fantasy points on FanDuel. 40 real-life points. So this guy's a beast. When he gets the usage rate, when he gets the minutes, he always produces. So I like him a lot on FanDuel in cash games. He's in my core currently. So he's going to be the nugget for me there. And then we have Aaron Gordon as well, who's kind of interesting. We have Will Barton out, obviously, with the hamstring injury. So I think Aaron Gordon is in play for sure, but he's been putting up some bad games, honestly. He hasn't looked good since he got to Denver. He's been playing around 20 minutes per game, so it's kind of thin, but I think as a last piece, it's viable on FanDuel, maybe even on DK. DraftKings, Aaron Gordon is 5-1, so I don't hate that. But yeah, it's kind of tough to play him if you look at the game log. PJ Dozier, I think he's interesting as well. He's been starting, or at least he started last game in place of Will Barton. So I expect him to start here once again. He is 5.2K on DK. On FanDuel, he is 4.6, so better price tag on FanDuel. More of a tournament guy for me. I think you don't need that in cash games, but I think in tournaments he's a solid option. And then last guy, I kind of almost forgot him. I think Campazzo on FanDuel for 4.3 is interesting in cash games. He's been starting. He's been playing 33 plus minutes. Last game we saw him go for 35 fantasy points, so I don't mind him here on FanDuel for 4-3.
Okay. Porter Jr., Chris, these are like the numbers. He's putting up some good numbers here, good games. This is kind of like Ben Simmons territory right here. Who's a better fantasy player right now, Simmons or Porter Jr.?
Porter Jr. clearly.
I mean, even before, these are like some Ben Simmons numbers here. Ben Simmons is a bum.
Wait, what do you mean by Ben Simmons numbers?
Like fantasy point numbers, I don't know. Like Ben Simmons, I thought he'd be like a 9K fantasy point player, like an 8.5, like at least like an 8.5K FanDuel price tag for the whole year. But he's more of like a 6'9", like 7'1", 7'2" guy, if that even. He's a bum.
Well, we've only got him under 7K once all year. He's been at 8K for most of the season, so had a bad stretch recently. I'll agree to that, but yeah, Porter Jr. he's been like a 6K guy all year, so pretty different.
Yeah, now he's stepping it up though.
Yeah.
But yeah, next game up, Chris. Mano asked about Dozier, but you already answered that. So next game up, Mavs against the Sacramento Kings. Dallas side, we have Kleba questionable, so Luka probable, Zingas doubtful, Richardson doubtful, Redick doubtful, and then Dorian Finney-Smith probable. So I guess 3 guys out here, primarily Zingas, Richardson, and Redick. So that's something we can take advantage of in today's slate. Projected starters, Doncic, Hardaway Jr., Finney-Smith, Kleba, and Powell. Yeah, why do you like this Mavs news here so much, Chris?
Well, we got our second favorite matchup here against the Sacramento Kings here, and we got KP out, so we're doubtful, which we treat as out. So that makes me love Luka here. His injury was an elbow injury, which was like a cut on his elbow. He had a bandage on it, which was kind of bothering him last game. So it's nothing to be too worried about, I don't think.
Hasty probably loves that one.
Yeah, so it's not too bad, but I mean, I think, he got upgraded to probable, so he's going to play here. Great matchup, so I love Luka here as a spend up. Only problem is he's priced way up now. He's 11.5 on FanDuel, 11.1 on DK. I'm probably going to try to get to him. I'm not sure if I prefer him over Westbrook or not. I mean, Westbrook's just putting up monster numbers every game. He had a down game yesterday, but I mean, that happens once in a while. So yeah, I mean, Luka's the guy here for me. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is probably interesting as well. It really depends on who they start. Brunson, interesting as well. Maxi Kleba maybe. Boban if he starts. So we'll have to wait and see who they start. Obviously, that's not ideal because this is one of the only games that starts at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. So it's not ideal. We'll have to kind of wait and see, though. It's hard for me to speculate here, but I do like Luka a lot. I like Brunson and Hardaway. Those 3 are probably my favorite guys right now in terms of price tags. Hardaway's 4.1 on FanDuel. He is 4.3 on DK, so good price tag for him. Obviously, Richardson is missing, so they could start Hardaway here. But yeah, I like all these guys on the Mavericks today.
Okay. Triggers in here. It says I'd take Campazzo over Simmons, Chris.
You would or he would?
He would.
Well, I know he's a Philly guy, so I'm sure Denver would take that trade in a heartbeat.
Yeah, probably. Kings side, we got Robert Woodard out, Rashawn Holmes questionable, projected starters, Halliburton, Fox also out, Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Harkless, Barnes, and Holmes. So yeah, we've had some interest here, Chris, in Halliburton with Fox sitting out. I guess Buddy as well. Is it a similar situation here today?
Well, yesterday they were playing the Warriors, and it was a 5-game slate, so it's a little different. Or it was a 4-game slate yesterday, so it's a little bit different. Today they're playing the Mavericks, back end of a back-to-back. So they're not going to pop as much as they were yesterday. Well, at least most of them aren't, but one guy that still is, it's going to be Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, he's starting for Fox now. He played 38 minutes yesterday. He has the ball in his hands for most of the game now, so he's just a lock for me on FanDuel for 6.1K. DK is where it's a little bit more of a question. He's 6.8K, so they did a good job pricing him up, but I still think that's too cheap for Tyrese. I love him here for 6.8K on DraftKings, so I'm probably going to play him. He's not going to be, I mean, on FanDuel, he's going to be like 90% owned. DraftKings, he's not going to be anywhere near that, so I do like that. I'm going to get him at lower ownership here on DraftKings. So yeah, he's going to be the main guy for me. If you land on any of these other guys like Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, even Mo Harkless as a value piece, I don't mind it. I think they're all fine as last pieces, but the priority here is going to be Tyrese for me.
Okay. Let's get into our 3 pillars, Chris, of the day. Overall play, value play, tournament play. Start off with FanDuel. So who's your first guy, Chris? Overall play of the day, cash, tournament, safest guy in your eyes for today's slate?
Give me Paul George. I love Paul George too much to pass up on him here. 10K. It's a high price tag, but I mean, I love this guy.
Okay, George Paul. What about value?
Got to be cover boy Chetty Osman.
I like it. Tournament play.
Tournament play. Let me see real quick. As always, I mentioned a few guys on the show. Let me see who I think my favorite's gonna be. Kind of like Tim Hardaway Jr. He might get some ownership because KP is out, Richardson is out, but yeah, I like Hardaway Jr. in this matchup.
Yeah, he's a chucker, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, if he gets hot, he'll chuck. But DK, Chris, same thing there. Overall play for you. Who's your first guy?
DraftKings. I'll go with George Paul here once again.
Okay. And then value, who do you have? Chetty?
Yeah, Chetty.
And then tournament, give us something different. Something different.
No, I got to go with the same guy. I got to stick with my guns and go with Tim Hardaway Jr. again.
Okay. Okay, let's go over cores over here. Chris Boucher, not expected to be back anytime soon. So yeah, you got DeJounte, Jarrett Allen, talked about Halliburton, Chetty, obvious cover boy here today. Why do you have DeJounte in here, Chris? I guess that's the most interesting one for me.
Just because of the matchup against the Wizards, really good price tag for him here. That's the only reason. If you want, you could put Luka there, but I think DeJounte fits builds easier. You could probably get him and Luka together, so I think DeJounte is the guy that I like more point per dollar.
Okay, and then which ones do you want to go over? First two, Ben Simmons, maybe skip that one.
No, let's go with the first two. Keep Ben Simmons.
Okay, these look nice today.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. One sec. Yeah, so 2v2 here. Same players. Murray just locked him in. George, Halliburton. I locked them both in, right?
So yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Halliburton. I don't know about George. You didn't do George.
Yeah, he's 10K here, but I mean, I love Paul George. Was just talking about him. He's my favorite spend up, I think. There's just a ton here, so it's kind of tough to pick one, but I love Paul George, so that's why I put him in there. Tyrese, great situation. He's going to be very chalky here on FanDuel. Small forward, I think this duo is the way to go. Porter Jr. and Chetty, just two guys in great spots. Porter Jr. role increased, should be probably 8.5K, 9K in this role. So he's just way too cheap. Chetty, he's a free square. He's the free square of the day, especially on FanDuel here for the minimum. And then we have Roby, who's popping now with Tony Bradley, who got ruled out. Roby isn't starting, but he's still going to get probably 28 plus minutes off the bench here. Plays in blowout time as well. He put up 36 fantasy points in 28 minutes last game. So this guy, he's always been a good point per minute guy. He's pretty active. We never mind playing him, so I like Roby there. And then Jarrett Allen, he's the free square at center, I think, for 5'7". And then we have this 2v2, which is kind of tough because I was talking about Aaron Gordon. I was saying I don't love him, but it gets us Luka Doncic, who I like a lot. So the 2v2 is Simmons, Pascal versus Luka and Aaron Gordon. Yeah, I mean, I got to go with the second side. We have no KP. We have Luka in a spot against the Sacramento Kings, which is one of my favorite matchups to target. So I love that. Gordon, I'm fine with him. Barton is out with the hamstring injury now. Gordon should get a role increase, or his role should be increased now. He's been putting up bad numbers if you look at his game log, but I'm going to try to overlook that here. I like the spot against the Grizzlies. They're implied to score 117, which is the second highest on the slate. So I like that. And then Simmons, I think he's questionable still, or he's expected to play, something like that. Maybe if Embiid gets ruled out, I'll like the Simmons side more. But for now, with Embiid still questionable, still a game time decision, I'll go with the Luka side here.
Yeah. Hasty says Hardaway Jr. not as nice as his daddy was. He says UTEP two-step, or is that step two-step?
What?
Which part? Both? All of it?
What is a UTEP two-step?
I don't know. Is that what his dad did? Two-step something? UTEP two-step? Or is that step two-step? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Is that like a move? I'm not sure. But I wanted to ask, are there any routes to Luka, Chris, that you might want to talk about here that don't include Aaron Gordon? Like we got one right here, actually. What do you think of this one compared to the other one?
I don't mind it, but then you're off of George Paul, who I love today. I mean, Aaron Gordon, I think he's a fine play. Like, he's in a great spot. Will Barton is out now. Should get more minutes. I like the spot a lot for him. Price tag is 4.9, so we're getting him very cheap. So definitely don't mind playing him as a last piece here on FanDuel.
And then let's just look at some other ones. I'm just curious. This one here at the bottom. This one you get George Paul still. So what about this one here? You get Pokuševski.
It's a Pokuševski Gordon 1v1. I feel better with the situation with Aaron Gordon. Like I said, they're tied for the second highest implied team total on the slate. Those points have to come from somewhere. Obviously, Jokic and Porter will handle the majority of that, but I think Aaron Gordon has a good chance to be the third guy.
All right, let's go over DK cores. So you got just two here: George Paul and Chetty Osman. So why do you only have two cores here on FanDuel? Not much conviction in the other plays, or you just kind of like a bunch of different guys here?
Yeah, I just think you can go a bunch of different ways on DraftKings. I think these two guys are the guys that I'm going to land on in all my lineups, regardless of which way I go. So that's why.
Okay. Ghosty likes George Paul. Solo says Bertans revenge game, Chris.
Yeah, I don't mind Bertans. I always like to play Bertans, especially in tournaments. He can catch fire very easily.
And then Hasty says University, Texas, El Paso equals UTEP Hardaway senior signature crossover. He had one of the best crossovers ever.
You'll have to show me at basketball today if you come.
Yeah, I'll look this up after the show. Hardaway cross. Why is it UTEP? Why is it UTEP? Still don't get that part.
University, Texas, El Paso.
Oh, got it. Got it. Wow. Okay. Back to DFS content, Chris. Can't embarrass myself as much here. Who do you like? Which ones do you want to go over?
Let's do the first two here.
Okay, so
yes. So we got more differences here, but we have Svi in both lineup still, even though he's not starting. 3.6, I think it's a decent price tag. Still going to get minutes off the bench. Usage rate should be even better off the bench, so I don't mind it. I don't love it, but I think I'm fine with it. And then we have Chetty, who I locked. We have George Paul, who I locked, and then Jokic, Nikola, 11K here. I like him as well. So yeah, and then we have 4v4, Tyrese, Cam Johnson, DeAndre Ayton, Tim Hardaway Jr. versus Westbrook, Craig, Harkless, and Gafford. This one's kind of tough. Like, I could see routes where top one wins. I could see routes where the bottom one wins. Bottom one is more stars and scrubs. Top one is more balanced. We got Halliburton as our top spend up on the top one. Westbrook is the top guy in the second one, obviously. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the first one. Projection difference is pretty big there. It's, 0.8 almost. So, I mean, gotta trust that somewhat. I like the balanced guys here. I like Halliburton a lot. I was mentioning that. He's just in a great role now with Fox out. Hardaway Jr., I had him as my tournament guy, so it makes sense that I do like him. And then Ayton, 6.6 here. Don't mind that as the last piece. Don't love it. But he had a big game yesterday, so Sarge is out once again. So that's more minutes for Ayton at the 5. Cam Johnson once again. I played him yesterday as well in the early slate. He didn't do too well, but I like the spot here for him. So I'll go with the first side.
Okay, let's go over one extra slate here for Royal King. I think he's in here. Which one should we do?
Yeah, let's do the Dallas Sacramento.
Okay. What are we gonna get? Just Luka locked to MVP, no doubt, without a doubt. Tyrese the star. I don't know. Like, what else could happen here? Hardaway could go off. Like, if someone were to go off, would it be Hardaway? And he definitely wouldn't beat Luka if that was the case. It would be someone like Halliburton, right?
Yeah, I think you got to go with Luka MVP. Star, I don't know. It could be like, it's probably going to be Halliburton as the projections say, but it could be Barnes. He had that 20-point first quarter yesterday. Could be Healed as well if he catches fire. Obviously feels safest with Halliburton. And then third spot, that's the 1v1 there with Barnes and Healed. Between the first two lineups, you have Brunson and Hardaway at util. I think that's going to be pretty chalky. I mean, those guys could even beat someone like Healed or Barnes, especially if they start. So, I mean, I like the first lineup here. I think it's the safest one by far.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I feel like if you were to do something different, it'd probably be the pro slot, not the MVP or the star here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it, Chris. Do you want to mess around with the model today or nah?
Up to you.
We can do it quickly. Let's see. What happened here? Okay, so let's build 20 first, just to see the baseline projections here. Okay. First three or what? 5? What do we do?
Yeah, first 5. We're getting Sixers news now. So Simmons is playing, Toby is playing, Green Ranger is out, and Korkmaz is available. Mike Scott is out, so waiting on the Embiid news.
Okay. So yeah, what do you want to try out here today, Chris? This.
Let's do what we usually do. Move your camera. Let's do 25 to each of them, I guess.
25? Is that the one you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
To all 3?
Yeah.
And then what do you want to do here?
5, last 5.
For both?
Yep.
Okay. Austin says 2 to 3 names that could change the slate, like Giannis last night or Dozier last night, that are not in your core, or last week, Chris.
Well, I mean, the tricky part with those guys is you don't really know. That's why they're changing the slate. But you want to kind of go with the high upside guys.
Ja.
We can use the trend tool here to try to find those guys if you want.
Let's try. So what do you want to try?
Let's do like above 1.1 per minute, and then let's do in 7 out of the last 10 games.
Okay.
Let's go even higher. Let's go 1.2.
Too many guys.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be any of these guys like Jokic, Embiid, Westbrook, Doncic, George, Towns, Butler. Let's go down a little more. Let's see if we can find some cheaper guys.
Vooch, Zion, Jonas. But I
Yeah,
guess
could be
they have
Bilbao.
Jaren back, right?
I mean, still, Jaren plays the 4.
Third, I don't think we'll find anything down here though anymore.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, all those guys with the green arrow pointing up, it could be
Stewart.
them. Stewart, Plumlee's in, so you can't do that today. So I don't think you're gonna find anyone else.
Gafford.
Here. Oh yeah, Gafford. I like Gafford as well. No Rolo.
Eubanks.
Not for me.
Yeah, I don't think anything here. This is like 3K price range. Okay. Should we hit build? Not use this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Trigger says Jokic is that guy for him. Austin says you like that. Lol. Just a little push. Change it to last week, last 7 out of 10. That's what we have. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
But that's not being applied to the build now. But so this is 25% to all these weights here, points per minute, and then points per game average, 5 games for both of those, plus the Vegas. Do you want to up the Vegas a bit or no?
Sure.
To what, like 50?
Yep.
Let's try that, see what we got. Yeah, Mike Conley, Chris, Boyan, Corey Joe, Westy. None of the favorited lineups here anymore.
Yeah, pretty much the main guys that come up more are Derek White, PJ Dozier, Daniel Gafford, and Rudy Gobert. Those guys weren't popping much originally, and yeah, now they are. Yeah. So I don't mind it.
Don't mind it. Yeah, getting some Randall here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, let's wrap it up, Chris. So the website first, DFS Crunch, guys. If you haven't tried it out already, click the link in the description of the video here, or just go to your browser, type in dfscrunch.com. That's our site, our optimizer that we've been using here throughout the show, every show. So all new members, you can get a free 3-day trial to our entire product here. So all of our slates, all of our sites, FanDuel, DraftKings, every sport that we have, and then all the different slates that we have there. So I always go through it. But for NBA, we have, 6 slates here on FanDuel. On DK, is this a bit more? 7, 8? 8 slates, I think? I'm not sure. But yeah, you get all the slates during the trial. You get access to the whole tool, projections, projected ownerships, our Discord as well. So that's a good place to hang out with the members, ask questions if you need help with the tool, or if you need help, I guess with the tool, how to use it best, or if you just want to discuss plays, things like that. It's a good place to hang out. So you get access to everything during the trial. There's no limitations at all. So you get 3 full days for that trial. And then you're not charged until after the 3rd day. So 72 hours from when you sign up. More than welcome to cancel. So you do that right here in the sidebar. Click the sidebar bottom left. Click here, go account center. So that's where you can manage your subscription. So if you cancel before the 3rd day, won't be charged. So even if you have no plans on paying, recommend that you try it out today and then just see what it's all about. And then maybe if you ever are ready in the future, you can stay with us. Or more likely, if you enjoy it, you'll just stay with us. But yeah, try it out. It's free. Other stuff, YouTube stuff, be sure to hit the thumbs up before you go. Make sure you're subscribed as well with the bell button plus the notifications clicked on all. That way you can stay notified when we do the show. It's 2.5 hours before every NBA main slate, every day, weekends included. Same format as today, so get a lot of value here. Lots of free value here. Lots of great content on the show. Trigger says Derek White has been crushing Chris and Jaw.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say, could we just rerun the teams, because there's another team on FanDuel that looks pretty good now. You might have to turn the model off. Oh no, here it is. So the Westbrook Gafford versus Luka, Aaron Gordon 2v2 is pretty interesting to me. Yeah, that's very tough. And then on DK also got the projections updated, so more Cauley Stein now. I want to take a look at that. So yeah, Cauley Stein, he obviously gets a bump here with KP doubtful. So I like Cauley Stein for value, 3K. You can use him here to let you spend up for someone like Julius Randle. We weren't getting him before. Brunson as well. He looks like a solid play with Josh Richardson out. So yeah, these are the current optimals, but obviously they'll likely change closer to lock.
Anything else, Chris, from you before we wrap it up? Say the goodbyes.
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. We'll be in the Discord like we always are. So if you have more questions, come hang out there. If you're a member, be sure to be in the Discord as well. And then, yeah, back at it tomorrow. Good luck today, guys, and see you all then.